Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
How's everyone doing? Cool. It's in. Awesome. Cool. Awesome, y'all. Anyone have any initial questions? Just jumping in.
I
Surprisingly
had,
not me.
go ahead.
Oh, I said surprisingly not me. I was like having a little freak out yesterday and poor
You fixed
Cameron was
it? You got it?
I think so. I think it was
Cool.
just like glitchy, weird stuff all kind of at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. No, I'm just here to listen.
So I had a question about um last week I dropped in an image that was characters and then like a quote. And it's doing really, really, really well. And it was actually kind of like characters in a scene, almost more cinematic wise. Have you seen that as something that has been doing well? Should I make more of that?
Yeah, actually, Mira actually has some too. I know we just speaking of that, like scene-based ones, where it's whatever's happening. That's one thing too that if you ever go through your creatives too and you see a cost per result high, doing something like that is perfect. That's great. It's like trying to find like what are they doing in this scene, like at this exact moment. Like if you just try to take that and encapsulate just a tiny part, that's awesome. What are they doing in the image? Is it like where's the scene based?
It's the two main characters, the two women, they're like talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the quote is like, I was prepared for your sister, I was not prepared for you, which is
Mm-hmm.
one of my money quotes. And it looks like the one character is just sort of opening her mouth talking. I'm like, oh, this might do well. And it actually, I think the cost per result on that one's like 9.
Nice.
So that one's been doing pretty well.
That's
And I'm like,
awesome.
okay, I'm wondering if I should just roll a bunch more of these.
And so that's a very a good thing to remember too is like if that one's doing well, you can't drop another one in that's like that one and expect it to do like better because Facebook doesn't see it different enough. It's got to be like a whole different scene, but like if you can still play into whatever's happening, maybe like a minute or two later, whatever's going on. Um,
Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was doing a different scene for this week, so I think
Hmm.
that will work.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, that one's
Do
doing
you,
really well. We've seen that work pretty well for other accounts as well.
Mhm.
So
I'm
go ahead,
curious,
Mira.
are you using are you putting it like in quotes or is it just like a line of text at the bottom that just happens to fit in or is there anything like particularly special that and like how you laid it out or no just like
Um, so it's I actually I just basically grabbed one of my Canva templates for Instagram and used like glowing text across the middle. Um, but beyond, I don't think it's in quotes. I don't think it is in quotes. I think it's just a line of text. It actually looked better without the quotes.
right.
Um,
Yeah, Mira, I would also take a look at Olivia Fox's ads too. She has a couple really good examples of that type of thing. It's just like character, image, document, that sort of thing with text overlay.
Okay, I will try her too. I'm like looking her up right this second. um yeah, I'm always curious, like sometimes people you see like where it looks almost like the dialogue from one character to like another. And I had like one where I was kind of like, but I never seem to have enough room on the graphic to like actually put stuff on it. But I was trying to figure stuff out like that. And by the way, my scene-based stuff that I spent like, I don't know, 40 minutes with Discord today and not getting the love from Discord. I think I used up all my
Same.
magic yesterday. I would have to wait for like another day where the genie will be like, here's your wish, right? They were crazy. Arms
Sometimes the
going
prompts.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, God help us all. Um, okay, so Olivia Fox romance. Is that the one
Mhm.
where she's just got it and it looks okay? I'm looking. See. All right.
Yeah, her image ads tend to do very well. So um a lot of those that we've tested have been like either just a male character with like a piece of dialogue from the scene or similar to how like Novi had
Yeah.
the ad where it was just, I guess like the main trope from the book in a sense, or main kind of line from the book. So
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like how you structured that one, Novi. I looked at that. It's like super easy to read.
Yeah,
So,
the glow on the text actually helped there.
yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for Instagram, just for whatever reason.
hmm
Um, and I tried moving it around at the bottom, at the top, or whatever. But yeah, I'll do that with some other ones because I was like, yes, this works. So
hmm Yeah, you could, because yeah, you could play around with text too. There's tons of different stuff you could say. Yeah, great. Cool. Anyone else have any other questions about ads?
Good.
so I have a small question. I have my PA running the Facebook comments and everything. Just basically handed it over. And she's doing really well. And there was one thing where someone was complaining about international shipping, and I think she messaged privately, like there's ebooks and audiobooks. Is that okay to message like that? I just wanted to make sure that wasn't gonna like mess anything up.
Message them privately.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's totally fine.
that's okay. All right,
Mhm.
we're good then.
I'm like, I hope so
Yeah.
because I have been.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything,
No,
Facebook
but
just sees that as like trust building because they're going to take that into their
Got it.
algorithm and they'll
Okay,
see
so
that as
that's
like, oh, they're
good.
messaging with customers. Yeah, it's good. Mhm.
Have the split images, is that still working really well?
Um, I've seen a few being tested this week, and no, I've not seen them pulling a lot of spend from what I've seen yet. Yeah, could just be that the images just didn't match up or weren't as strong enough, but um, yeah, we'll see.
I think one of the ones that you had launched up, Novi, is
Sure,
getting,
taken.
I mean, it got like one purchase so far. The other ones are kind of pulling a little bit of spend and not really getting anything, but I think we could still do a little bit of testing
Still
there.
try. Okay.
Yeah, it
Um,
seems like the vertical split is working better than the
got it.
horizontal
Okay.
split there.
And I was curious too. I think both of the images that I put last week that have been doing better were both couples,
Hmm.
Hmm.
versus like a single character, or even the split, like just actual images. So yeah, I can pull more of that.
Can I ask a question about book vault?
Yeah.
Um, I'm about to link um, book vault with Shopify. I haven't got any of my
Mhm.
print books on the store yet. Is there anything in particular I need to know? Like I was looking through the course and I couldn't find anything really on book vault, so I just wanted to check if there's anything I need to make sure I do or don't do because I wasn't sure if it pulls it in as a variant or as a
Mhm.
separate product or what it does.
Yeah, so Book Vault, they should have a walkthrough video for that. It it should it's about the same connection as like with Book Funnel. Like you just essentially match a SKU to the
Mhm.
book. And when you're going through and setting it up, it should just be one book by one book. I didn't make a video about it just for your information. With Book Vault, there was like some stuff happening with shipping and they weren't shipping out products correctly, and some of the books becoming damaged. So I just didn't make a video about it just because all that stuff was happening. But with the setup process, they should have a video to go through that, and it should just be matching those SKUs per variant.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And for a variant rather than a separate product, because at the
Variant,
moment
yes.
my
Yeah.
audio books are separate products from my.
So that's totally fine. It's all based on that SKU, wherever on that variant. So if you don't, like with the audiobooks, you just would have the book funnel SKU in there.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
I've got a little question. So I just was cleaning out my like my warehouse is like the second floor closet, and found like all of these audiobook cases. Like who even has the player for this stuff anymore? But I've got like dozens of them from stuff, and even though I don't sell audiobooks on my site, um, is this like something where if I was like, I don't know, put them on for like $5 or something, or is it better to
Yeah.
just like, is it better to send them to a library, stick them in a newsletter, and be like, does anybody want these? It's like, send me $5 and I'll send for shipping, and I'll send you this, or just like use, or just send them. I mean, just
Yeah.
like, is
How
it
many do
make
you
sense
have?
to like, it's like incomplete sets, and but I have probably like 25 of
Yeah.
various books for different stuff. It's just, it's like such a weird thing, but it's taking up a bunch of space, and I don't know.
I would send them to the library, or it's just, I just don't think it's worth your time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Did,
honestly.
did you get the sense that I'm always strapped for time? It's like, well, how could you figure that out? Um, that's actually, yes, and I've actually
Yeah.
given a ton of them to the library already, but like I'm gonna be down in Chicago. Maybe I'll take them down and get my sister to give them to like one of the libraries there or
Yeah.
something. One other little question. So even though I have not actually gotten any of these international shipping
Mhm.
orders yet, I have this like kind of like lingering anxiety about like the customs part of it, which I had not actually thought about.
Mhm.
Um, and so I have EAS is helping me get set up with the EU and uh, all that stuff, UK EU stuff. Um, so I'm assuming, and I believe they said on their call, like they will help me make sure that like those fees are paid up front. But for instance, for Australia or for Canada, what do people do to make sure that is there something that I should be doing to make sure that I'm not going to get like completely bent over when I send these, or that like my customers are not going to be like, oh my gosh, there's some huge fees from Canada. Like I don't know how I've managed to like not actually deal with this part before, because at some point I've sent international
Yeah.
orders and I just like
Mhm.
never thought about it.
Yeah,
So
and you're saying the taxes portion of what it charges when they buy in the international order?
isn't there some kind of like fee or something when they get to
I believe,
get
yeah.
to the border, and I just don't even know how to account for it, or like how I should raise the prices. I mean, the international part of this is just like I that is not I'm not super confident with like my with anything that happens
Yeah.
on that side.
I can look into that. I'm not 100% sure for the fees that come along with the taxes on international paperbacks. Um,
There'd be a customs duty, but I'm not sure
yeah.
that they charge it in Australia. Like I've never received anything that I've ever had to then just pay customs on. So it probably
Oh,
depends on the amount that the product is.
okay.
But if you check out, one of the Australian government um, import or ex, or the import for you, um, customs duties, it'd probably have an answer there. But I don't think anything like a book would get it.
I actually think I did look up Australia. It's a higher threshold. Like we're probably not going to hit it unless there's like a gargantuan bundle. Um, but like UK, they don't charge VAT on print, so you don't need to worry about that. I don't know if there's duties on that, but the like you write your IOSS number in the duty packet for the UK. And you don't write it on the package, you want it like in the duty packet. And that's
Right,
what
okay.
the EAS people would give you. And then if there is any duties, then it'll charge to them, I
And
think.
then, so
I
yeah, with
think.
EAS, it seems like they will then bill me and they're helping to get that part set up. It's the stuff that's outside of them. It's like oh, am I like my Canadian customers? I mean, they'll be coming, I'm sure they will. But but yeah, it's okay. So with Australia, I mean, like when you say it's a very high threshold, I'm assuming like you mean like above $200 US, like well above. Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about that part then.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't remember what it was, but it was like up there. Like, unless you're selling like 20 or 30 books, I don't think you're gonna. I remember
No,
going, oh, okay, I'm just not gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah.
all
Um,
right.
but I don't remember what it was for the like anything that's going to the EU. I think the EAS kind of builds that in because it does pull off from mine.
Yeah.
Canada, I have shipped to Canada, and I'm just like, I just put a disclaimer in my shipping thing that you're responsible for duties. But I don't ship UPS to Canada because I know they tack on a ridiculous like a delivery fee charge, and that's UPS. That's not the Canadian government. So
Oh,
I don't ship
man, and
UPS to
that
Canada.
okay. I have, and of course, I got like a bunch of UPS stuff set up. I worked with the FedEx thing again, like as I messaged you at that. The international part of it, though, I think that's going to be like another phone call. But it, I don't know. I have like 6 million boxes from them now,
Me
so
too.
I know where I'm just like, oh
Unannounced.
no, like they just kept coming. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean. Well, yay. I'm sure I'll use these sooner or later, maybe. Like we'll see.
I
My son will be
actually
like, "Why are all the boxes for moving out of my dorm FedEx boxes?" Oh, no reason, honey. No.
I actually like I think FedEx prices are comparable to DHL. I've had issues with DHL pickups, but they always come on the second day.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so far, so I'm like, I stuck them back on there and I'm just gonna kind of hover with that. And if it's continuing to be issues, then I'm not gonna do it. But they're the cheapest. And they do integrate with Shopify. So you don't have to like with the FedEx, you have to go take all the info and stick it into their deal versus
Oh,
on Shopify. Like the DHL, you don't need to worry about customs with DHL because it pulls all your Shopify info right into the waybill. And it's a digital waybill so that when they scan it, it just shows up on their scanners. You don't need to fill out any customs forms. You do need to have like the number, like the paperback number, but not like anything more than that. So it's like DHL is like a minimum hassle on the label part. They're just a maximum hassle on the actually getting them to pick it up part. But they have on the second day. So
it, they're like
I
an hour and a half away from here. So I'm like, unfortunately, they're gonna not be a good option for me, but I'm jealous of everybody else who gets to use them because that does seem like
they're
a
an
good
hour from
one.
me too. So that's
Oh,
yeah.
well, and I think if I had more like orders, then maybe I would not be like, mm-mm. But for, like one or something, no way. I'm not gonna drive out there for that. Spend more in gas than I would on like the whole order. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's like that is super helpful for accumulating all the information. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, probably. It does look like there's a like a 5%. Yeah, that 5% fee.
Okay. When you say that, Cameron, a 5% fee for UPS,
It looks like
is
the
that
customs for is it just that might just be the GST tax? Tax.
For Canada?
No, for Australia, I think the 5%
Australia.
is something else.
So if in that sense, then should I add like in the handling fee where they say like a dollar amount or a percentage, should I put 5% there for Canada or
Here we go. Okay, so it might actually be threshold. Let me look into it. I'm finding a couple like some of this information is not matching up. I'll look into that. I'll let you know.
that would be like amazing. I like when I get the stuff that doesn't match up, I'm just like like start to cry. I'm like, I'll never have it figured out. That would be so helpful.
Yeah, the one I'm not sure about is Canada. Like, I just when I was looking stuff up, it took me to a whole bunch of Reddit things of people on eBay who ship and just ran into all kinds of nasty stuff with like mostly with UPS. So I'm like, okay, we're just not going to do that. But I never saw any bad things about FedEx, so I don't know.
Okay. One of these days it's all gonna be set up. I actually said to somebody today that like my direct store is like a colicky baby where like I love it dearly and like want it to thrive, but I just would love it if it let me rest for like 5 minutes. So, I don't know. Why?
Oh, I actually do have a
Yeah.
question. I had someone my big 13 book bundle on Book Vault, not Book Vault, Book Funnel. Twice I tried to send it and she
Mhm.
never got it. So is there I actually went through and just grabbed gift links of
Mhm.
each of the books and sent them to her. Is there an easier way to do that? Because it took a lot of time.
You should be able to send them this the delivery action with all of the books. Did
Oh,
you?
um, I couldn't email to like book anything from Book Funnel wouldn't get through to them.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like twice to the same
Mm,
account. It just didn't get through. They had a Hotmail address, so I'm thinking that's probably
Oh,
what it was.
that might be it. That might have been the only way you can do it, honestly, at that point.
Got
Only
it.
other way would
Okay.
be taking the delivery action that has all of the books in it and sending them a link and giving them like free access. I'd have to look again at Book Funnel if they have that though. But I think it's a good way to get around it though, what you did.
Yeah, it just took time. It
Mhm.
worked, but it took time.
Let me see. Yeah, cool. Anyone else have any other questions? Run through ads, Shopify store, anything?
I'm I've been having difficulty with my US ads. Like nobody
Mhm.
wants to buy my books. Um, so I was looking at the description the other day and noticed that I've got Australia mentioned in the description, and
Mhm.
I'm wondering if I should remove that in case that's a an issue for American buyers.
Um, that's kind of what we've seen with Australia, with books based in Australia, is that they're a little bit tougher to sell in the US, just in general. I If you removed, are you talking about from the description of the product title? Would it be?
Uh, the dis in the description, but I mean the series is called Aussie Heroes, but I could just like delete that from the title and stuff and just call it Retribution Bay.
You would have more success with that.
Yeah, okay, I might do that.
I'd try
Yeah,
that
that
out.
way we can kind
Mhm.
of streamline it across.
Countries.
Yeah. All right, I will do that. Thank you.
Mhm. Cool. Any final questions?
I one quick one. So like we had talked before about with the highlight pages and trying to like doodle them up and make them kind of like
Yeah.
have the little standout. Is that like, and of course like the whole time thing, and I'm like, I've got this, nothing special. Is it still working well enough that I should prioritize sitting down and doing some like little coloring art in my books here, or are we like, I mean, some of it seems like it comes up and goes
Yeah.
away really quickly, and I'm just curious whether like no, that's like a good use of time, or like let's just have these tiny highlights and whatever, you can stick a heart on it and be done.
If
But
we're gonna do one of those types of images, I would really do it up, make it all colorful as much as you possibly can. Yeah.
okay, so you think
We
like still worth maybe trying that then? Okay.
Yeah, but we only would want to drop those in when the campaign needs it. Like if we have every other ad type in that campaign, it's still doing well. And then we need like a highlighted image, it's just a different style of ad, then we can drop it in. But
Oh,
until that
oh,
point, yeah, we're fine.
okay. So, all right.
Hmm.
Then, so like maybe for the hockey ones, but
Hmm.
I think we've already put some
We have
in
some
that
that are
didn't
doing
do
really
well, but
well.
they were, what? Where,
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure we have
thinking,
some.
well, we've got some, but I thought they had like, I am like actually in the wrong campaign, but I was thinking they had not like
Hmm.
really done much, but they were not super artsy craftsy either. They were like kind of bare minimum, and like my shaky hand thing was like not awesome. Um,
You're right. Yeah, they did not take much spend.
yeah, but I was gonna say I'm like I don't think the ones that we had were like going bananas. So I can certainly try it again if you
Hmm.
think it's worth it, or if you're like, no, then I won't. But
I would try it again for if you look at the secret US #3 campaign.
okay. All right,
I would
secret
grab one
US.
for that My Brother's ad set.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I would like doodle it all up and everything.
Okay.
Mhm.
US #3. Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Cool.
That's it for me.
I do have one more
Mhm.
question. So, I'd been talking with Ella about my books are about 50% romantic and 50% like epic fantasy politics. And do you have examples of like anyone who does the direct sales who does like epic fantasy or things like that? Because I wasn't sure who to look up for inspiration on how to kind of tackle that to hit that angle.
Yeah, to hit that angle. Um, with how your pixel is, I still think you should just focus on the current structure you have.
Okay. Oh,
I
and
think,
it's working well. Yeah.
yeah, I think you could run it like how you have it for years and you wouldn't run out of market. Um, and so I would just run it going after this.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it'll keep your pixel like directed towards who your customer is. Much better.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
I have a lot to hit. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Plenty of audience. Awesome. Final questions. Cool. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll go ahead and put it in the folder and see everyone else on the next one-on-one call. Cool. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.